Hey, how's it going, guys? LCD Neffy here today, and I'm here with my mate Oliver. Say hi.
Hello,
We're
hello
going to
everybody.
be discussing. We're going to be discussing the Leicester squad currently, and we've not included players that have just been released, like Andy King. He's a club legend, though. We all know that he's a club legend. Every Leicester fan knows he's
Yeah,
a club legend, don't we? Don't we, Oliver? So
it was one of my favorite players before.
he's been a fan favourite no matter what throughout the
Yeah,
years since the first day he's been here. So we're going to rank these players from elite, which means they're one of the best in the league, maybe the world, or we just rank them highest.
yeah,
Good meaning someone who's good. They come in, they're pretty good. There's something about them. They're not just elite yet. Decent meaning someone who comes in, does a good job when they plays, but you know they're just there, but they do a good job. Below average meaning someone who might need a loan, or we think they're just not quite there yet. They need to do something to change something to be there. Terrible meaning not necessarily that we think we're terrible, just players that we think should probably leave the club. And potential players that have potential for the future. So young players for the most. So we've got up first. We've got Adrian Silva.
okay.
Where do you think we should put him?
Um, it's shown the odd times it can be capable for us, but I just don't think we don't need him.
I think
So
that whole transfer saga, the 14
mm,
seconds, really ruined his Leicester career. Him having to wait
yeah,
until January to play.
yeah,
And that rest of that season, I think he played a few games and he wasn't that bad, and I didn't mind him. But where are we putting him? Below average?
yeah. I think it's
Because
below
we've got
average.
to take
It's not terrible.
we've
It's not
got to
terrible.
take the player he is, but how he's actually played for us, and I think he has played below average, and I think we might. Not that he's a bad player. If things went right, he'd probably be indecent or good because he's got quite a similar skill set, in my opinion, to Dennis Pratt. But Dennis Pratt, we'll get onto him later. Next, we got Jose Perez. Statistically, had a good year,
Yeah, I'll say he's decent.
but he's been good this year. But you wouldn't want him to be your starting winger.
No,
And he plays better down the middle, so I think Jose Perez
mm.
going in decent isn't a problem at all.
And
Next,
he had some good games as well.
yeah, he did have some good games, like obviously the 9-0 Southampton game.
Mm.
Who didn't have a good game?
And Brighton away.
Yeah, Brighton away had a good game. Yeah, but he's not going in good.
No, no.
Even statistically, he's had a decent, very good, pretty good season. He's not going in good because if you actually watch him, he'd be indecent. He does the job essentially. Yeah. Chilwell. Now I know this guy's causing a lot of opinions in with the Leicester fans at the minute, and quite a few people want him gone. So
I like him.
Not necessarily want him gone, but we take the amount of money that other teams are willing to pay for him.
I like him.
I do like him, but he has loads of mistakes in him. He's not elite. He's England's number one left back, so I think we're gonna have to put him in good. But he's not elite. Bartosz Kapustka. Now, is he too old now to put him in potential? Because I think he's about 24.
Yeah.
He's done nothing for the club.
Yeah, I think he's got to go in terrible, actually, because I've not seen
I
him.
don't think he's actually a terrible player, but I think he's just past that time where we could put him in potential, and he's not done anything for the club. He probably needs to leave.
Yeah.
He probably wants to leave as well, so we'll put him in terrible.
And it'd be good for him as well, for him to go.
Yeah, most definitely. Next, we got Cags. Is
I
it too early to put him in an elite?
Yeah, I think he needs at least another season.
Because that first season with us, he made quite a lot of mistakes. He has been tremendous this past season, though. He's been but the thing is it him better than Johnny Evans, or is it Johnny Evans better than him, or is it they just work well together? Because I think they work well together.
Well, together. I mean, I think Johnny Evans has taught him as well. And
Good investment, though. He's very calm on the ball. He does a few tricks at the back, but he never loses the ball, so he's got going good for me.
And actually, I think I see glimpses of him, what Maguire's done for Leicester as well.
Bit better. And a bit different. Maguire's a bit more solid, but I think Soyuncu can go out and do that knowing that he has Johnny Evans covering for him. Because if he makes a mistake, Johnny Evans will clear it up.
Maguire used to go forward, and Soyuncu can do that as well.
Yeah. Apart from he's got a bit more skill than Maguire has.
Yeah.
Next we got the legend Christian Fuchs.
Are we? Oh,
We've
this
got
is
a
hard
base
one.
on their whole Leicester career, but mostly for now.
Um,
He's got to go in
I'll,
decent, really, because you don't really
yeah,
get that much game time.
but it's a fan favorite.
Second choice left back, really.
Mm,
He
maybe.
is a fan favourite, but that's because he's funny on like Instagram.
Yeah, and he cares about the club as well.
Yeah, to be fair, he stayed here. He should have went at the start of this season, really.
Mm.
But now he's staying another year. So not 2020, 2021. He should have left at the end of the 2018, 19 season. Yeah, but we extended his contract by a year, and we've extended it by another one. Right, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. We've seen him play once. That's why he's included. So
Yeah.
So it was Brentford away in the FA Cup. We won 1-0.
He didn't. He showed
to Ian
glimpses, but he only played like 10 minutes. So
Yeah, I think he played 15 minutes, and we loaned him out to Blackpool, and he looked pretty good at Blackpool. Scored a few goals, got a few assists. He has got a going potential because he's still pretty young. I think he's 21, so he's definitely going in potential. There's no doubt about that because he looked solid when he came on. You know, he tried to make a few passes. Right, Dan Almarty hasn't played a single game this game this season. Well, the season just gone. 2018-19, he played a few games, then got that bad injury. He looked good before he got that injury, though.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's in Brendan Rodgers' plans anymore. So I
think it might be a bit harsh to put him in terrible.
Yeah, I just gotta go below average.
Because he's been pretty decent for Leicester when he's done the job. He would be indecent, but he probably does need to go, so we're gonna have to put him in below average. Danny Ward, I think this screams decent to me. Not played that many games. When he's played like in the cups, he's made a few good penalty saves and whatnot. There's not really that much else we can say about Danny Ward. He's going in decent.
Yeah.
Demarai Gray. Now this one, the Leicester fans might be frustrated with him. Some Leicester fans might put him in terrible. I think when he comes off the bench, he plays well, and when he starts, he never takes his opportunity.
I think he should stay, but I don't think he's in terrible. I think it's below average.
You think he's below average, but you wouldn't sell him?
Yeah.
When he comes off the bench, he does the job. He normally does well off. I'd agree with you. If there was if there was another tier in between below average and decent, it'd literally have only Demarai Gray on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Demarai Gray this end to just prove that he's at the top. I don't think we should sell him either. And I don't think he needs a loan, but
he's a super sub.
For his whole career at Leicester, he's been pretty much below average. Yeah, he's pretty much a super sub, but not that super.
No.
Dennis Pratt, he's had a good season when he's played.
I
think the last few games he should have started.
Mm.
He should have started them last few games. Would you say he deserves being good though?
It's between good or decent, I'll say.
It is, but which one do you think? I think he's played over 20 games. But he just didn't play the last few games. You'd put him in decent.
Yeah.
He has been good when he's came on, but he's not really changed the game. So I'm going to put him in decent. But I do really like Dennis Pratt. I think he's a great backup centre mid. Where are you going to put Eldin Jakupovic?
Right, this is a hard one because
he's not getting sold because he just signed a new contract. He's third choice keeper. He's never going to get game time. I don't think he's a bad player, but for us, I think we're going to have to put him in terrible.
Yeah, because he's just not shown
He's just not played for us. He's really not played. Filip Benkovic, 23 though. He's coming to the end of his potential. We haven't really seen him play for us, and we have in the cups. What do you think of him when we've seen him play in the cups? He's been on loan and had a few injuries.
Yeah, it's a bit injury prone, but I think
he does show signs where he can be class. I'll have to put him in potential because it still is quite early, but
yeah,
you do fear the worst in these kind of situations, especially when they get injured. Diabate, where are you putting Diabate then?
Right,
his debut was class in the FA Cup against Peterborough. He's got to go in below average because he just won't get game time. He just goes out on loan.
I think we should not sell him just yet. He's not.
You think we should give him another loan though, or should we actually keep him in the squad?
The thing is though, if he stays, it'd be more like Demarai Gray kind of player.
Yeah, then what happens to Demarai Gray though?
Oh, Demarai Gray knows the Premier League.
I don't think Diabate is that bad. It's just he don't come on and change the games off the bench. Like Gray does change the games a bit more. He's a bit more direct.
Yeah.
George Hurst has got to be potential. We've not seen him for a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
This season he played in 2 games off the bench, but you can see a lot of upside. I think he scored. I think he was 3rd, 4th, or 4th top goal scorer in the development Premier League. So he's got to go in potential. Hamza.
Decent.
He's had a wishy-washy season though, ain't he, this season?
Yeah.
Last season he was pretty good, but this season he's made a few mistakes.
Yeah.
He's also had he scored a great goal against Newcastle. I think he's going in decent, but I think he is towards that lower end of decent. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Because he has had a bit of a not a great season. Next we have Harvey Barnes. He's been pretty good this season statistically.
Yeah.
Bit inconsistent, but he is our best winger. We're gonna have to put him in good because he's the only winger that's gonna go in good.
I think since November he's actually been quite good actually.
Since November.
Yeah, I mean.
What about his goal? What about his goal
maybe
of the year
October
in
as well.
August? I think he's had a good I think he's had a good season from start to finish, but it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
You get patches, but he's got to go in good for this season. I do have to put him in good. He has played pretty well. Where are we going to put Islam Slimani though?
Terrible.
Yeah, but he had a good first season with us.
He did.
We just haven't seen him play much after that though.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you. I'll go with terrible. Even though he could be a good 3rd option.
Yeah.
Top.
But
he's getting on a bit.
I just don't think he's in Brendan Rodgers' plans.
James Justin has played a few games this season, especially after the restart because Ricardo Pereira got injured. So where we putting him? You still, you're going to throw him in decent right now, or you're going to throw him in potential? Because he has he has got the potential, but we've seen enough games of him to put him in decent.
I think he was decent. He's definitely not below average. He was quite good.
He struggled playing. He struggled playing the amount of games that he did, I think.
Yeah.
But when the odd game at the start of the season when he came in for Ricky P. I liked what I've seen of him so far. I think he has played enough games. He could go in potential, but I think we're gonna have to put him in decent. He has looked good. He has looked good when he's played. James Maddison.
I think he's my first elite.
I won't put him in elite. Because this season... Last season, 18-19, he played... He made a lot of chances and he played really well. This season...
It's either elite or good.
I think it's good, but this season he hasn't... he hasn't even had a better season than Kaglos Uyuncu, so I don't know how we can put him in elite. Thing is, he could... All the players we put in good could definitely move up to elite.
Yeah.
Some of the players that we even put in decent could move up to elite. Probably less likely. But good. All the good players could go into elite, but they just have to show it on a more consistent basis or do it a bit more. James Maddison this season, he's been injured for the last part of it. I do like James Maddison. He creates a lot when he plays, and we're definitely better off with him. I just don't know if I'd put him in elite.
Yeah.
So... What would you prefer? Because I'd struggle putting him in an elite, but I do think he deserves... I do think he's kind of better than
good. But he can be an elite
all of these players could be an elite.
Yeah.
One day. James Maddison is definitely the closest to that as of right now.
Yeah.
He has had an injury, though.
Harvey Barnes is the weakest elite, though.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes has been the weakest elite out of the... Good. He's the weakest.
Yeah.
Good. He's the less likely to make it into elite. Right, Johnny Evans. We signed him for $3 million.
Yeah.
I think this might be our first elite.
Yeah.
He's class. I'm not saying that he's been better than Sionchu this season, but he played. He played in the 18-19 season as well. Sionchu barely played a game, and when he did, he made a few mistakes. I think signing him for $3 million as well.
Yeah.
is that's a great bit of business, and I think he just keeps our defence honest.
I think he's and he's got the experience. That's why he's up there.
Yeah, I think this is our first elite. I think this is a no-brainer elite. Do you want to touch up on Jamie Vardy though?
I mean,
he's by far elite. He's one of the best. He's one of the greatest Leicester City players of all time.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations for getting the golden boot for him.
Well, he got the golden boot this season. If there was, to be fair, if there was a list for just Jamie Vardy, there could be. If there was a tier for just Jamie Vardy, there could be. He got the golden boot this season. He scored over 100 Premier League goals.
If there's one title to give him, I would say King of Leicester.
Not King, but
yeah, but like King of Leicester for football.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's just like I'll probably say he's actually world class.
He's one of them. I think rival fans might respect him, but he's one of them players that rival fans, they don't want their team, their defence to come up against Jamie Vardy, no matter who.
And if I talk to strangers who don't support Leicester, and the first thing they say is about Jamie Vardy, and they just say how good he is and how brilliant he is, and they just they can't believe what he's done.
Like, Jamie Vardy's world class. He's got a golden boot this season. It's a no-brainer that he's in elite. And his story,
And 8 years ago, he was playing non-league football.
Yeah, exactly. Kasper Schmeichel.
I think he's elite as well.
Elite. What, 13 clean sheets this season?
And he's probably the best goalkeeper I've ever seen play under a Leicester City shirt.
That you've actually watched in the stadium?
Yes.
No, I think that's quite an easy one to say though. You've not seen many great keepers, neither have I really, within Schmeichel. Yeah, that's a no-brainer again. He's been at the club, I think, 9 years now. To this day, actually, the day we were recording it, I think he's been in 9 years, and I think he made his first game 9 years ago. But he's been class ever since. He's proper passionate, isn't he?
He loves the club as well. He showed that when
Bijay died.
With the disaster, and he was one of the first ones to go out and to try and do something.
He's passionate, isn't he?
Yeah, and you always see him on the sidelines, trying to get all the players' spirits up.
Yeah, it's what you want from your vice captain, really.
Yeah.
King Kelechi Iheanacho, great season.
I'll say.
Where do we put him? Then?
I don't think he's good enough for good though.
If he goes in good, he's by far the worst, and he's been more of an impact bench player. I think he's got to go in decent, but he's one of the high end decent players. He's been very good for us this season. Kelechi Iheanacho has, and I'd be a bit gutted if he left. Really.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Next we have Luke Thomas. I think we're going to put him in potential right because he's played a few games. But he looks pretty good. It's
the most easy potential, I think, because
I think he has got the most potential out of the players we've put. Well, Benkovic might, but Luke Thomas is younger, and I think from what we've actually seen of him, he was trying to make chances down that left side. Chilwell doesn't really put that many crosses in. Even if they're bad crosses, he doesn't really even try putting crosses. He tries to play the easy ball to like Maddison or Barnes. I think Luke Thomas has really tried to, just get the balls in the box. I think he could be a good left back one day. Next, Mark Albrighton.
Oh,
I think he's the epitome of decent.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's honest. He puts a lot of hard work in.
Yeah.
And he might not be technically the greatest, but people do call him Mr. Whippy. Because he puts a lot of crosses in, and he doesn't really play. He doesn't really have play to our strengths.
Yeah.
Anymore. But
he works hard as well.
Yeah, he works hard. Matty James. He's made out of glass, isn't he? Let's be honest.
It's terrible. I think it's the most easy.
Yeah, but he's had the first few years at Leicester were good.
Yeah, but in the past,
we've got to go with right now. He has got to go in terrible. He's made out of glass. He's constantly injured. Somehow he's actually played a game for us this season. I don't know how that was. I think we've got another easy terrible here as well. Rashid Ghazal.
Yeah. Oh my god, that Fleetwood game. That just proved it. Well, even he scored, it was still terrible in that game.
Newport.
Yeah, Newport.
Yeah, mate, this guy just looks like he puts no effort in. You know, he's a he's a B-Tech Riyad Mahrez in worse. You know, this guy just doesn't have the right attitude either. Ricky P. I think this is an easy choice. He's got to go in elite, hasn't he? This guy's been class this season. I think one of the best right backs in the Premier League. I'm going to say he's top 2 right backs in the Premier League this season. Obviously, he had an injury against Aston Villa the last game before the lockdown, but he's probably been the second best right back in the Premier League. And I'm only going to give it to Trent Alexander-Arnold because he won the league, you know, and he got a few assists. But Ricardo Pereira, he's everything you want in a right back. He knows how to defend. He knows how to attack.
He's probably the best right back Leicester's ever had. Probably that we can.
Yeah, he is the best right back Leicester's ever had, I think. But Danny Simpson won a Premier League trophy. But you know, Ricardo Pereira is a great player, terrific, and you know, I can't wait to see him back playing for us because he creates chances from right back. The way he drives forward is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right, next we have club legend Wes Morgan, if you want to call him a club legend. I think he's a club legend. Wes Morgan.
Club legend.
He either goes in decent or below average because he hasn't played that much games this season. But when he played the last few games, he looked good. I thought he looked decent.
Yeah, I mean, if he's based on his whole career, it'd be good or just below elite.
Yeah,
but he's got to go decent based on the past two seasons. Especially
this past season, he's played a lot less games.
Yeah.
When he has, he still looked decent though. You know, considering his age, what is he? 36 now? 35, 36? Like he's pretty good considering his age.
And he'll go down as a legend.
I think these next two sort themselves out really. Wilfred Ndidi.
Elite.
This guy's the best defensive midfielder in the league. Bar none.
Yeah.
No one's better than Wilfred Ndidi. No one's been better than Wilfred Ndidi in defensive midfield this season. I've seen him carrying our whole midfield this season. And I'm even going to include wingers in that.
And he doesn't get enough credit compared to other people from the Premier League, but he does show it, and he doesn't show it, but he also shows it.
If you watched him, you'd know how good he is.
Yeah, it's a kind of a secret weapon.
He is. But he doesn't really create that much going forward. But to be fair, this season his passings came along really well. He's been spraying the balls out really well, winning it back, then putting the balls, you know, putting us in better chances. I just kind of want to see him get on the end of more like crosses from corners. I know he scored that goal against Chelsea, but I want to see more of that happening. I want to see him get on the end of more corners and, you know, kind of when he does get his shooting is a bit lackluster from long range, but that's not really his job.
No,
it'd be nice to see one of those go in every now and again, but it's not his job.
He's a defensive midfielder. He's not an attacking midfielder, so he's not meant to do that.
Yeah, but some players can play defensive midfielder and do that.
Yeah.
But they're more deep line playmakers. He's a out defensive midfielder. Yeah. Last but not least, we've got Youri Tielemans.
Yeah. I like him. I really, really do like him.
He hasn't had the greatest season though. When he was on loan, he was on fire. He'd been in elite just for that loan spell. But depends. Do we put Youri in decent or do we put him in good?
I think he's going to be
good. Class. He is class, but he's not kind of like pulled. We expect him to kind of like pull us through games. We're having a rough game. We kind of expect him to stand out in those games, and he just hasn't.
Yeah.
But when the whole squad's been good, Youri hasn't put a foot wrong, and he makes a few chances.
But he's had some good games and he's had some bad games. But I think I've always been a big fan of him.
We'll put him in good because he's technically definitely better than most in decent, and he does start, and you can see it in certain games when he does play decent or well. When he plays well, he's one of the better players on the pitch, I think. So, Oliver, I'm going to ask you now: are you happy with this whole list?
Yeah,
or would you change anything?
I'm 98, 99% happy. The only one I can
just put Maddison up to elite.
Yeah, maybe Maddison, but I'm still happy in being in good.
I'm only putting Maddison in good because him and Tielemans, who's had a better season? It's probably been
Maddison
equal. It's probably been equal though.
Maybe Maddison slightly though.
But it has been quite even.
Madison has scored some good free kicks this season. That free kick against Southampton.
Yeah, he's only scored 1 free kick, ain't he?
I thought he scored 2.
No, he scored a good long-range goal against Spurs. He scored a decent one against Newcastle. James Maddison is the only one here that I'm thinking about putting elite, but has he been on the level of these players this season?
No.
For the whole season, no, he hasn't. So James Maddison will definitely go in good, but he's definitely at the top of good guys. So, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who would you change if you agree with our list? Make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed the video. If you're new around here, subscribe. I'll make more Leicester City content for you guys, as well as other things I post on my channel. And that's it for me and Oliver. LCD Neffy out. See you.